Hello everyone.
Hello.
So I have some questions for Juanito, and I need to understand. So I want to understand like what is desire, and I want to clarify when is it appropriate for me to like pursue my desire and act on it, and when can I just feel a desire and just let it be alive in me.
We were speaking a bit before about that, and that's why we are here recording a video. Yeah, desire. Well, I can speak from my perspective. At the end of the day, it's always like what we experience and understand by these things, but and we were coming to this shared understanding of desire as being an expression of life force energy that wants to move through us. Whether we are aware of it or not, conscious or unconsciously, it will try to be met and be expressed and be acknowledged and be seen. So the thing is like what we do with that energy, like can we acknowledge that it's there and that it wants to be expressed, and where is it coming from, the motivation?
How do I do that?
How do you realize where is it coming from?
And how do I acknowledge what my desire is?
I feel it's an invitation for dropping in and feeling whatever is moving through. And I can connect it to like this sense of the inner community. Like, okay, what's moving through my heart, my body, my mind, my gut feeling, my sex center? What's moving when I'm having this desire? Where is it? Where's the pull coming from? And definitely it requires a moment of checking in and sitting with it to see where is it coming from and what's the need underneath. What's the need that wants to be met through that desire. And personally, I feel that allowing desires to be acknowledged, and not only acknowledged by you, but also expressed, brings so much spaciousness and relief. And sometimes desires, they just want to be acknowledged. They don't even want to be acted or pursued on. Like, just want to be seen, and that's pretty much it.
What's a healthy way to express desire?
Communicate whatever is alive. Well, if we take it into the field of interpersonal interactions, just express whatever is there. I feel that this sickness in our society is because we don't express and allow our desires to be expressed. And sometimes it can be simple things, but in the field of interpersonal relationships, it's like there's this stigma of being too much, or like, oh, maybe this is like not socially acceptable. And just express it, and letting go the attachment for the desire to be fulfilled. Just like say, oh, I'm feeling like there's this desire, whatever, of connecting, of getting to know you more, of exploring more intimate physical exploration, or spending time together, whatever that is. Just express it, and surrendering to the fact that because you express it doesn't mean it's going to happen or be met like right away. It can happen in many different ways. You want some touch or desire some touch, and you can express it to someone, and it doesn't mean it's going to come there, but it's already out there. And when it's out there, then things work in a way that they want to be met.
Yeah, so what if I have a desire, this happens a lot for me, where there's an inner conflict. Like I do desire something, but then like another part of myself isn't fully on board with that inner community. So how do I find the alignment and safety inside of me to like negotiate what actually is my desire, and who do I listen to?
Again, it's an invitation to listen to that voice that's not in alignment, or sometimes it's listening the voice that's driving the car, to bring into alignment of the rest of the voices within. Like, okay, what, for example, you might feel like this strong sexual drive or desire for something with someone.
Yeah.
And then you can notice like there's some part of you holding back. Okay, like what's that part holding back?
Yeah.
And it's an inner dialogue moment of like, okay, heart, I hear you are holding back, or there's something there not making fully sense for you. What would bring you into alignment? What do you need? What do you need? And maybe the heart says like, I just would like to get to know this person a little bit more, or take it a little bit more slow.
Yeah, right. I can think of a lot of examples where I haven't had everyone on board, so I've actually like aborted and sabotaged the desire or suppressed it.
And what happened when you jumped into something not being aligned, for example?
I felt really unsafe, and I feel like I abandoned parts of myself, and kind of left myself actually. Yeah, and I think that's where the rebuilding of this idea of desire is divine, because in the past it's been an experience of sabotage, and to create a new foundation where desire is more of a flowing and an experience of allowing something to move through me that brings alignment into my life.
And how does it make you feel when you step in that space? Being able to reclaim that energy and
immediately I receive safety knowing that that's happening, and there's like an elevated sensation because I feel like, okay, I'm playing in a high frequency. Yeah.
For what comes to me is like a sense of power, of like owning your experience.
Being a creator.
Yeah, exactly. Being the creator of your reality, knowing what's happening inside.
Yeah. So I want to take this into another question. So if I have a desire for a person or a situation with a person, what language can I use as communication to help me express what's alive for me?
Yeah, I really like that. For me, I really like this topic of communication and authentic relating, conscious relating, and clear communication, because it's so powerful and so refreshing. And it's empowering as well, both for the giver, the one that's communicating, and the one that's receiving a clear communication. It's like, wow, so refreshing. So something that I find really interesting, and it's like a simple way, like it's allowing the other also to make the decision of receiving your sharing or your revealing. And it's about revealing. It's like, hey, I'm just sitting with something, I would like to reveal myself to you, like, can I do so? Like asking for permission for the other to open that space of like, hey, thank you. Yeah, and I can check in with my inner community, or take a second even to say like, yeah, of course. And then I can express, you can express. Like, yeah, been noticing this and that. When I see you, I feel this. Maybe you're sure, what is it? And you can express clearly what is. Or maybe you are not pretty sure, but there's something in there that you're curious about and you want to see what's there. And by expressing it already opens the space for that possibility to arise. And it's like this dynamic in communication of the masculine and feminine. It's your feminine, or the sensitivity and the emotional side of revealing a vulnerable part of you, And the masculine is like, okay, I'm gonna take an action on this, because otherwise it's just lingering there around, and what happens next is that if it's not expressed, it will start operating from a shadow piece, creating push and pull games and strange dynamics and like this kind of thing of the not clear no and the maybe, so maybe not now but maybe later, and oh no, not again, and it's not allowing you to experience your freedom and your full potential in whatever experience you want to create, and it's creating a bit of a strange dynamic for the other end as well.
I also notice the dynamic becomes tainted with projections of our wounds. So the stories start to paint the picture of reality when we're not fully owning our desire. And then when we suppress our own desire, we might, like if it was between us, I might start creating stories in my head about why you are doing something or why you're not doing something, because I've kept myself silent.
And you're writing already a narrative of what's happening.
Yeah, and it's just the wound that I'm carrying in my shadow. So yeah, that reminds me, if I just want to keep the space clear in a dynamic, to open dialogue and create more revealing.
Yeah, there's something really powerful in that, and well, for me it's a core value and principle in any interaction, no matter if you're in, no matter the kind of ship you are in, partnership, friendship, lovership, whatever. Transparently communicate what's alive. And yeah, sometimes just by the fact of doing that, the energy moves in a different way or brings more spaciousness to whatever wants to be explored, or can shift completely.
What if in a scenario you express a desire or something and I don't want to fulfill that desire? Or what's appropriate for me? How do I respond to it?
Personally, I believe it's like really powerful welcoming and acknowledge whatever is being expressed to you or said. As a celebration of life, like, wow, thank you for expressing your desire. We can use that expression. Or I hear you, I see you, and it's beautiful. And also in that process of checking in with yourself, like stating what's your truth, like what's fully alive. And also, you can go into like a no dynamic, I'm not up for that, or not really feeling that I can meet you in that space. But also, if it's in alignment with you, it's like, okay, where's the yes in this? Because there's always in every interaction, there's a medicine, there's a gift. So is there a yes that I can find? And maybe it's like creating a different container, like I'm not really feeling that, or being able to meet you in that space, but I will be up for something else, whatever feels aligned with you. And that gives again the possibility of the other person to even have a double check-in with a desire. And it's like, I hear you, but I really want to do this, and it's not a possibility now, so okay, great. And it's this acknowledgement of like the expression of the desire and the self-care piece. Like, okay, I'm also taking care of where I'm at, because I just want to be fully 100% aligned in my yes, or in my willingness to explore whatever you are expressing or revealing, so we can have fun and celebrate life or whatever is there. And that can look in many ways. Maybe it's a co-creation, maybe it's a mirror that's experiencing something similar, and since you don't know that much each other, you cannot tell, and then it just, okay, I thought it was going this way, but actually it reveals it's going somewhere else, and it's beautiful. So there's like this importance of the self-care and being true and authentic to what's live in you, and communicating with loving kindness. And I sometimes say, it's like, don't try to be nice, just be you, with a lot of loving kindness. Be you. That's super appreciated. that encourages everyone to be who they are. So here we are, putting ourselves back together because we were recording and the phone stopped recording.
And I was asking so many things. Where I actually would love for you to share what I just asked you, which was, how do you know when you are edging towards desire, or how do you navigate through resistance?
I feel it's when I'm in that crossroad, it's an invitation for me to consider the stretch. So we're saying, like, can I stretch myself a little bit out of my edge of comfort zone? And then that will bring like two possible gifts. One, discovering that when I stretch myself, then I discover a lot of joy and gifts, and like, wow, I'm glad that I left my house and I decided to go to this place because I found this experience. Or it can be like, fuck, I wish I stayed at home because I'm not really feeling whatever is happening here. So then you can use a bit of your shamanic powers. Like, do I visualize myself in that space? Yes or no? Or a simple thing like, I step into space. I think we did it once. I step into space that would be me doing that or this decision. How does it feel? It feels like this. Okay. Now I step on the other side. How does it feel? It feels like this. Okay. I'm gonna make a decision with that information, which might be like, what is this? But the body speaks, and there's a higher wisdom that's operating all the time through us. So yeah, I feel when that crossroad comes, it's an invitation for an asana of growth of life. Like, can I hold this asana and this stretch and see what's the gift? And it's okay. And it's okay even if we say, yeah, I should stretch, but I'm not gonna do it. Cool.
Yeah, I feel like there's I hear your voice in my head. Divine design. It's like everything is happening according to how it needs to.
Yeah, everything is divinely designed, divinely timed. You couldn't be anywhere else doing anything else, no matter the choice. It's love that wants to run through you. It's growth that wants to run through you.
Speaking of choice and things that are moving through us, before we mentioned how we're engaging in practices like meditation because really we want to show up to the moment without the interference of our small self. Can you share more about what you were saying, how you can show up to the moment?
Yeah, it's a realization that I got recently, and it's coming through me, but I feel it's like pretty much available. We were yesterday speaking about 4 levels of awareness of life, and the third one has to do with life is happening through me. The fourth one would be life. I am life. Life is me. It's like it's just being through me, on me, by me, and all the time. And this thing of all the practices and techniques, methods we use in our process of like connecting with ourselves, spirit, it's actually just to move out of the way of what wants to come through us. To be able to be a clean and clear container for that, which at the end of that thing coming through is our authentic expression of being, is the divinity, the uniqueness, that particular taste and flavor of unity, of the one, let's say, that comes through us. And the more we step in that authentic expression of it, and we own it, and we claim it, and we embody it, the more it can come through us, and the more it shows up in signs and people and connections and opportunity that invite us to step up more into our power, into our authentic expression, and trust and just simply be. And that can be inspiring, and that can be challenging for others, and can be triggering for others, and even sometimes for the self, particularly the mind that wants to understand things that are not meant to be understood by the mind. The intellect has its purpose, but some things are not meant to be understood by the mind. And that's fine.
What are some ways that I could practice getting out of my own way?
It's a good question. I would say trust and surrender.
What is that?
It's an understanding, and again, that doesn't come from the mind, that things are unfolding in a perfectly aligned and divine way for you to grow. This beautiful playground that life on earth is. And there's a sense of dropping more into the body, activating life force energy through the things that make your heart dance and sing, and trusting your intuition, your gut feeling. And when it speaks, don't second guess it. Just follow that deep. And sometimes can look very crazy, but I mean, and while I'm saying, what comes to me is like, and don't trust anything that I'm saying, just try it yourself, like just test it. Try it once and see what happens. What happens after, when I don't second guess my intuition, that's really telling me, you should go and start singing. Why? I never sang. Well, what happens if I go and I do it? Well, you should start, like, it's not even like you should, like it's an inner realization. Hey, it'd be nice if this whole system, start doing this, or follow this thing, or send that message to, saying whatever you need to say. And it might seem crazy again for the mind, so it's a practice of like really deeply trusting into all these messages that we are receiving. And it's a practice also.
I might add on that, something that's really ringing true for me, especially since the Easter festival, is that when our mind is trying to navigate decisions, if we come from a place of our body, our sensation, that's anchored in, I would call it pleasure or lightness and ease, I feel like we are so much more connected to our intuition. So no matter what decision I need to make, if I can for 30 minutes self-pleasure, self-care, look after any of these rituals, and then maybe by the end of that practice, it's like the answer or the calling is already revealing itself. When you mentioned your body, I just thought our culture, the global culture, is really stuck in our minds. So we're making decisions from this place of confusion. And how do we like get into our bodies again?
It's a nice practice, feeling the body and allowing it to be expressed. Sometimes simple practices of self-care, and like caring for simple and basic needs, and find the containers where our bodies can express themselves. Sometimes it's dance, sometimes it's movement of any kind, to really drop into that space of the mind, trusting in the wisdom of the body. Let go ideas and conditioning. Like even in dance can happen. I'm not good at dancing. It doesn't matter. You need to be good, whatever. There's nothing good or bad. Like just do whatever comes through you, and see it. If it doesn't happen, also, it's okay. there are plenty more ways, I feel. It depends on what works for each of us. And I think it's like the fact of becoming aware of this dynamic, like, oh, I'm mostly mind oriented when making a decision. The next time I need to make a decision, if I ask my heart instead of my mind, then I see what my mind says. It's okay. We need to acknowledge his voices, and sometimes it's like, okay, I hear you. Cool, great, thank you. What do you need? Okay, now sit down. You're not driving the car. This is what we're doing, and we're gonna take care of your needs, but come with us, with the heart, with the body, sex center, intuition. And it's a practice. It takes time, and in the process you find like what works best or not.
I want to thank you for collecting all these different ideas of desire, getting into our body, taking accountability of what our needs are, healthily expressing them as a way of being in the world, to reclaim our power and to be authentic and to fully express ourselves in a healthy way. I feel like everything that you've been offering and exploring is giving a person the tools to make that happen.
Thank you for summarizing it up in such a neat way, always. And having this vision of people stepping into their power and authentically expressing their truth with loving kindness, care for each other, respect, appreciation, wonder, and playfulness and joy. That's beautiful.
Yeah, heart-centered.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. So here we are, putting ourselves back together because we were recording and the phone stopped recording. Next time we may do it in body.